Deportiva y con swing.
Deportiva y con swing.
La factoría del deporte desde New York para ti. Es una máquina.
Es una máquina
Pensada para ti.
pensada para ti. Número uno en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Con informaciones importantes siempre frescas.
Y con entrevistas que te ponen de cabeza.
Lo mejor del deporte lo encontrarás aquí.
Búscale en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Suscríbete,
Ay sí,
infórmate.
ok. Dale a la campana para que te llegue.
How would you describe what Gary Pettis does for you guys as a team, and what does it mean to everybody that he's able to be here after a couple of tough health issues?
It's phenomenal. What he went through, we had his back. We supported him throughout the whole thing. I know I sent him multiple texts and phone calls, and we were talking throughout his entire, treatment. To have him back in the dugout and, moving the outfielders around, because obviously he works with the outfield a lot, has been phenomenal for us and just putting us in the right position to succeed. He's been a big help.
And we'll go to the left here with Chandler, and then we'll go to the second row.
Michael, have you been, I don't know if surprised is the word, but what have you thought of how Jordan has handled the outfield this year, especially coming off both knee surgeries?
Well, if you would have saw how hard he was working in spring training just to get back, and then on top of that, how hard he was working, in the outfield as well. That was his whole goal. He was building his body up and getting back to where he needed to be to play the outfield. He's been doing a phenomenal job, and he's going to do well this series as well.
Go to the second row on your left, Michael.
Hey, Michael, one of the things that Dusty said is when he talked about the identity of this team is that you guys approach it like business. He called it the cleanest living team he's ever covered. Can you talk about kind of your identity as a team?
Well, our identity as a team is we go out and play hard and we have fun. We play with a lot of emotion, a lot of joy. There's a lot of smiles, and, we always have each other's back. I think that's the most important thing is we're a really tight-knit unit. Good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to do it together. So when, you're going every day with, a group of guys that all have your back, it makes it fun to come to work. It makes it fun to play this game, and we enjoy each other. So it makes it easy to come to work every single day.
Go to Steve in the fourth row on your left, and then Scott.
Michael Jose has 8 hits and 7 walks in the postseason, and he scored 15 times, so he's essentially scoring every time he gets on base. How important is he as the catalyst for the offense?
Well, I think all our guys are important. I think we have a really deep lineup that does a great job of, getting on base, doing the little things to score runs. Obviously, he's our leadoff hitter, and we all know how special Hosey is. Ever since I got here, he never seems to do something that doesn't amaze me even more and more. I mean, it's unbelievable. What he does for this team. I got to see it for 3 years now, and I look forward to see what he's going to do this series as well.
Go to Scott on the left, and then Gabe.
Hey, Michael, I know we'll get Jake's official status tomorrow, but, what have you said to him as, obviously this is his first playoff experience, but then also now kind of going through an injury. What kind of conversations have you two had?
Yeah, I've been talking to him every day. He's in there working hard and, doing treatment and just trying to get that shoulder right to get back. We'll see how that all plans out tomorrow, but at the same time, he's a great kid that has done phenomenal things since he's been up here. He works his tail off day in and day out. He's a great asset to this team, and I appreciate everything he's done for this team.
And then also, what have you thought of the poise of someone like him and Chaz and Jose kind of getting their first playoff experience? They've looked very calm and under control when sometimes, a rookie might be a little frazzled in these moments.
They've been doing a great job. We talked about it before, the first playoff game. It's the same game, just on a bigger stage, but we're going to play the same way. We're going to go all out. I think we did a great job of communicating and understanding where we need to play and positioning. I think that's been the key. We made some phenomenal plays out there as a unit, and we got to continue to do that this series as well.
Go one row behind Scott with Gabe.
Hey, Michael, just kind of curious what your sort of notions of Dusty Baker were coming into being managed by him, and what about him has been a really good fit for you guys and enabled you guys to keep this run going the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I played against him a lot, coming, last few seasons before he was my manager, and he was always having fun. He always had the toothpick in the wristband, so I always smiled at that. But at the same time, you always hear he's the player's manager. He lets us go out and play. He asks us to play hard, and that's it, and we compete at a high level. I think we have a great group of guys in that locker room that come to work every day, ready to play together, ready to compete. So he just kind of, lets us do our thing, and he expects a lot of us, and we expect a lot of ourselves as well.
Go to the far right aisle here.
Excuse me. Michael, two-parter for you. Number one, were you pretty close in 19 to signing with the Braves? And the other one is you lose a couple of key bats and don't even have Soroka for the season. How much respect do you guys have for them being able to navigate all that and get here?
19 was a long time ago. We'll say that. Yeah, we have a lot of respect for the Braves. Obviously, you know, they're playing really hot baseball right now. They're playing really well as a team. They're having a lot of fun doing it. You know, from the pitching staff all the way to their lineup, we know it's going to be a tough series. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a grind, but we look forward to that. We have a lot of faith and trust in everyone in that locker room that we're going to get it done and we're going to compete at a high level. It's one game at a time. We have a great mentality as a team first always approach, and I think that's what makes this team special.
Standing on your right.
Michael, what does it mean for you guys to have back in the clubhouse Marvin Gonzalez, and has he said anything about being back with a team that's in the room for the World Series?
Oh yeah, I faced him a lot as well. Phenomenal player that can play everywhere. You know, we've all seen the big hits he got in the postseason as well. But just, you know, his positive energy, he's always talking, you know, about pitchers and positioning, and, you know, he's just been a great asset ever since he's been here to just, you know, just feeding off information, especially to younger players as well, and to myself as well when you ask questions. So he's been a phenomenal resource for us.
Do a few more from Michael. 5 rows back on your right.
Yeah, Michael, what has impressed you the most about Jordan's approach at the plate? Yuli said he's just so impressed with his maturity, just kind of embracing that cleanup hitter spot, which is not easy for a young guy to do. But what about his approach on a daily basis makes him so successful from your view?
He can hit the ball to all fields, and he doesn't mind doing it. I think that's, you know, special in this game for a big power hitter as he is. You know, it's just not all pull side for him or all oppo or however you want to look at it. You know, he drives the ball to all fields. I got to see him in 19 when I first signed here. He was hitting in my BP group, didn't know too many people. I said, who's this guy? This guy can hit. He got a phenomenal swing. And then to go along with that maturity, as you're talking about in the approach, it's a special player, and I'm so glad he's on our team. I love watching it every single day.
On your far right, Steve in the 3rd row.
Congratulations. I have a couple questions. First, I know you don't try to win it for one person, but what would it mean for you guys to be able to give Dusty Baker something he's never had before? He's had come close. He's brought so many teams to division, the playoffs, and he's just fell short of winning the World Series.
I think it'd be very special. This is what we work so hard for as a team and as a unit. He's our manager. To let him lift that trophy, something that, you know, he's been chasing for a long time, would be very special and something that I think we all as a group will never forget.
And let me ask you another question, which is a bit of a touchy question, goes back to a few years ago, obviously. You've seen the reaction when you go to opposing parks. The Astros have become sort of like the team that other fans want to dislike. Do you guys accept that, I gather, and does it affect you at all on the field, or is that just sort of goes with the territory?
Sure does. I mean, we get it everywhere we go. But what makes this team so special is we've been here, done that. Like, we've been through all of it. So there's no stage that's big enough. There's nothing that a crowd's going to do to us that's going to get us off our game. We believe in one another. We trust in one another. And I think when you're a tight-knit group and you always have somebody that has your back, and then we have a whole bunch of guys that do, it just makes it easier to go out there and compete.